Right now, a fatal crash in Wilson County kills 2 adults and 1 child.
It's going to be a cold and cloudy start to your Veterans Day, but we will eventually see sun, but the winds are going to be picking up. Your forecast coming up.
Plus, a Columbus house burns to the ground in an early morning fire, but the homeowner and pet dog escaped safely.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KLM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Donald O'Keefe. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday and happy Veterans Day as well. I know you have some service members who have served in your family. I do as well. So it's always great to take a day that we can honor those, pay our respects and give our thanks to those, who have served our country.
Yes, most definitely. I mean, it is an honor to have family that have served, and anybody that has family, definitely thank them for what they've done, because we are very much appreciated in this country that we have our veterans that did all that work for our freedom for today. And
it looks like, overall it's going to be a pretty nice day, just really, really windy day.
Yes, we are starting a little bit on the colder side and cool and cloudy, but the sun will peak out, but the winds also will increase as well. Let's take a look at downtown Pittsburgh right now. It's super windy right now. You can see the sun starting to peak up there with some clouds there in the background. So like I said, it's going to be a cold start to Veterans Day and cloudy, but eventually the sun will start to peak out. 7th range line, not too bad right now. People are, like I said, it's getting out the door, getting their morning coffee. Range line I-44 shows a little bit of haze on the camera, but there really isn't any fog at this moment for our area. Our fog tracker looks really good, so if you're getting out the door, going to work, conditions for driving look pretty good, but our temperatures are still on the cooler side, not as cold as it has been, but mid-30s, reaching about 39 in Veneta and Nowata. So we're slowly warming up, but our feel-like temperatures are still not that great. We're still below freezing for what it feels like outside, so make sure you have your jacket. Mid-20s to upper 20s for our feel-like. All right, so for our future track, today at noon, southwesterly winds are going to be bringing in those stronger winds. There is going to be decreasing clouds through the morning into the afternoon, but by about 4 o'clock, still some extremely strong winds. So if you make sure you have anything outside that's tie it down, you do not want your garbage can to be in the neighbor's yard. 6 p.m. eventually those winds will start to slow down, but sunnier skies by the time we get to the later parts of our afternoon. 37 degrees out the door for our school bus, 58 degrees at lunch and recess, 62 for our high as you're heading home. Decreasing clouds, but still on the windier side despite it becoming sunny through the day. Like I said, 62 degrees is our high, but those winds are going to be very strong today, 20 to 25 miles an hour, gusting up to 45. That's a quick look at your forecast. Another check your forecast coming up.
Thanks, Donald. A crash involving a semi in Wilson County, Kansas, claims the lives of 2 adults and a child. It happened west of Neodesha at the intersection of US 400 and Granby Avenue yesterday. The highway patrol says a westbound car failed to stop at a stop sign and was hit by a northbound semi-truck. 3 people in the car died in that crash. They are Adam and Kylie Brooks, both age 21, and 2-year-old Cohen Brooks, all from Neodesha. The semi-driver was not hurt. Yesterday, firefighters responded to an early morning house fire in Columbus. The call came in just before 2. Crews fought the fire as well as hot spots for about 3 hours. While authorities say the residence was a total loss, both the homeowners and the pet dog made it safely out of the house. Preliminary investigation suggests a wood stove in the garage caused the fire. Kansas Congressman Derek Schmidt says the House could vote as soon as midweek on the Senate spending bill, a move that could finally end the government shutdown. KLM's Blake Gulley sat down with him to talk about the timeline and the impact on 4-state families.
For over a month, the federal government shutdown has put pressure on workers and families, from senior citizens and veterans to those relying on SNAP benefits. Congressman Dirk Schmidt says House leadership is preparing to act on the pending bill, but the exact timeline depends on when the Senate's paperwork reaches their chamber.
It could be immediate, could be a few days. I'm currently planning on headed back tomorrow, the evening of Veterans Day. That way I'll be sure to be there for Wednesday or Thursday. Most likely now it looks like a House vote Wednesday or Thursday.
The congressman also discussed rising health care premiums. It's an issue that prompted Democrats in the Senate to vote against the spending bill. Schmidt says he's reviewing new ideas that could lower costs by shifting how federal dollars are used.
It's an idea to try to take the money and instead of subsidizing the insurance companies directly, use it to empower individuals to make more of their care choices. That can inject some market forces that can maybe go toward dealing with the underlying healthcare costs. And for some people, it could actually be better off because you'd be able to cover things like copays and deductibles or out-of-pocket costs that otherwise exist. So a lot of ideas just need to get to yes on something.
Schmidt says he'd like to see House Democrat support for the spending bill, but adds Republicans have enough votes to move forward without them. Blake Gully, KOAM News.
You can hear more from Congressman Schmidt and his full sit-down interview with Blake Gully. That's on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, Governor Laura Kelly wraps up her statewide listening tour in Pittsburgh, gathering input from residents on how Kansas should spend taxpayer dollars. The 8-city People's Budget Tour follows a heated budget dispute between the Democratic governor and Republican-controlled legislature this spring. These stops gives four-staters a voice in shaping priorities for education, health care, infrastructure, and public safety funding before the 2026 legislative session. A sigh of relief Monday night in Washington after the U.S. Senate finally passed a bill aimed at reopening the government. Now the legislation has to get through the House before it can go to the president's desk for his signature. A handful of Democrats in the Senate crossed the aisle to support the deal, which includes funding for food assistance. But there's only a promise of a vote for the Democrats' main demand, health care subsidies. CBS News' Bradley Blackburn has more from New York.
The bill as amended is passed.
An end to the longest shutdown in U.S. history is in sight.
I think this is a great victory for the American people.
Last night, 8 Democratic caucus members in the U.S. Senate joined Republicans to pass a bill which would fund the government through January 30th. The measure reverses shutdown-related layoffs and guarantees back pay for federal workers. It also incorporates 3 year-long spending bills that include SNAP food assistance funding. Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman on his yes vote to Fox News.
It's the country over the party on this. I can't ever support that kind of tactic to hold our government as a hostage.
But the split has sparked backlash, especially since the deal did not include the Democrats' key demand of an extension of Affordable Care Act tax credits.
Given the fact that, as everybody knows, what the fight was about was health care, it was a loss.
Now some government workers are questioning if the shutdown was even worth it.
What's the point if the subsidies were the issue and that's not a part of the negotiated plan?
Senate GOP leaders say members are discussing the ACA with the promise of a vote sometime next month. But in the House, Speaker Mike Johnson has been non-committal.
I do not guarantee the outcome of legislation or dates or deadlines or anything.
The House is expected to take up the Senate's bill to reopen the government as soon as Wednesday. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
One Republican Kentucky Senator, Ron Paul, again joined the majority of Democrats who voted against the government funding package. Meanwhile, a motion from Senate Democrats to force a vote on the Affordable Care Act Monday failed. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Coming up, a retired Command Sergeant Major launches a campaign to get the Medal of Honor for a fallen soldier who saved 3 lives in Iraq. Plus, Mark Harmon returns to NCIS after 3 years away from the franchise. And we have cloudy and windy conditions in the 4 states. Donald has a look at your weekly forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch, an Iraq war veteran is pushing to recognize a fellow soldier with a Medal of Honor who was killed shielding members of the team from a grenade attack in 2006. He says he won't rest until the fallen soldier receives the highest military honor for acts of valor in combat. Natalie Brand reports on his campaign.
We cannot fail him now. It's waited too long.
Retired Command Sergeant Major Daniel Pinion has a new mission, nearly 20 years after leading a specialized team during intense and deadly fighting in Ramadi during the Iraq War.
I mean, we were averaging 46 attacks a day on our brigade.
But one attack in August 2006 is especially haunting when 28-year-old Sergeant Marquise Quick of Alabama sacrificed his life to save his fellow soldiers.
As the 4 grenades came over the roof, Sergeant Barr screamed, "Grenade, grenade, grenade." And everybody started to see cover except for Sergeant Quick. So Sergeant Quick was right next to the stairwell to safety, and the grenades were behind him, and he deliberately turned towards the grenades and went to the grenades to shield them, or his comrades, from the blast.
During the chaos of war, Pinion says he focused on his soldiers who survived. But 2 years ago, while researching a book he was writing, he kept coming back to Sergeant Quick's heroism. Pinion has launched a campaign for Quick to receive the Medal of Honor, even turning to social media to track down a member of the old unit who witnessed his valor.
I sent a text message to probably my 20th phone number and got a reply.
With support of Sergeant Quick's comrades and widow, Pinion is working through the lengthy process of petitioning for the award.
His name will forever be remembered as a hero.
Pinion says it's the recognition Quick deserves for going above and beyond the call of duty, saving 3 lives at the cost of his own. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Prince William County, Virginia.
Still to come, Merck develops a new daily cholesterol pill that dramatically lowers bad cholesterol by almost 60%. Plus, we have cloudy and windy conditions. Donald has a look at your Tuesday forecast. An NCIS original is back for a crossover event on CBS, and Hilary Duff hits the road. Gwen Baumgarten has your Eye on Entertainment report.
An NCIS crossover brings the revival of a franchise icon.
3 decades. It's a hell of a long time.
Actor Mark Harmon held the role of Leroy Jethro Gibbs for 18 seasons before departing NCIS in 2021. But tonight he returns to NCIS Origins after the mysterious death of a naval officer. Why now? Harmon says it came down to the show creators.
I trust them, and I like so much of what they write and create. And this seemed like a good idea and the right time to check in.
This special NCIS Origins episode airs tonight on CBS and Paramount Plus, followed by NCIS. Just days after releasing new music, Hilary Duff is headed back to the stage. The singer-actress will soon perform live for the first time in more than a decade. Her Small Rooms, Big Nerves tour includes 4 shows and kicks off in January. All aboard, music fans! The band Train releasing this video with actor George Lopez to tease their upcoming tour and who they'll share the stage with.
I see Train, Bare Naked Ladies, and Matt Nathanson.
Drops of Jupiter, 25 Years in the Atmosphere tour kicks off in July.
What if I made different choices?
And Roofman is headed to streaming. The Paramount movie based on the stunning true story stars Channing Tatum as a veteran who turns to a life of crime before hiding inside a Toys R Us. Roofman is available on multiple streaming platforms beginning today and includes bonus content such as interviews and deleted scenes. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, certainly a lot of great options there. And now here's Donald with a look at your forecast.
It's going to be a cold start to your morning. Clouds are going to be increasing through the morning as well, but we will see a warm up by the mid-afternoon, but also the winds are going to be picking up as well, and those will continue through the day. But I'll have your full forecast coming up. It's going to be a cold start to our Veterans Day. As you take a look at downtown Pittsburgh right now, you can see the sun starting to pop up. There is some clouds that will be increasing through the morning, but also there'll be winds that will be increasing through the morning as well. Still some pretty beautiful colors there with our sunrise. 7th and Range Line, people are not too busy at this moment. They're starting to get out the door, doing their morning routine. Range Line I-44, got some pretty bright lights there, but not too bad. A little bit of haze, but our driving conditions look pretty good at this moment. We're seeing our fog tracker, really good driving conditions as you're getting out the door, but just be driving careful no matter what. All right, let's take a look at our regional temperatures and why we're starting to see that warm up right now. You can't really see it because I'm kind of blocking a little bit, but there is a high pressure system out by Jackson, Mississippi that is bringing in some nice southerly warm winds that will eventually warm up our area through today and through the rest of our week. However, along with those nice warm winds, it's also bringing in some stronger gusts as well. We're going to see some gusts probably about 45 to maybe even 50 miles an hour by 9 a.m. and that will continue through the morning. We're going to get to about 11:30 noon. There's some of the chances we can see about 55 miles an hour with some of these wind gusts. So make sure if you have anything outside, you tie it down. You do not want your garbage in the neighbor's yard because these winds are going to be pretty strong coming out of the south. But then by about Wednesday morning, we're going to still see a little bit of winds, but not too bad. The winds are going to start dying down through the overnight into tomorrow morning. Well, let's take a look at our future check. Today at noon, you can see those southwesterly winds are really coming in. The clouds are going to be decreasing through the morning. We're going to be clearing out by the afternoon, bringing in some sunnier skies. That's why it's going to be on the warmer side, besides the southerly winds. And by about 4 o'clock, still some pretty strong winds on the clearer side, sunny skies. And then by the time we progress through the evening into the overnight, still some pretty clear skies, but we're also going to see those winds start to decrease. We are going to notice a wind shift, so we are seeing some winds coming in from the north by Wednesday morning around 5 a.m. But that's not really going to change the temperature. Tomorrow's still going to be pretty nice though. Still got some northerly winds, a little bit of south winds blending together, but it's going to be an overall nice day through Wednesday morning into the afternoon. And then eventually those winds by Wednesday evening will switch to the east and eventually make their way out of the south again by Wednesday night into Thursday morning. But our temperatures right now, we're seeing mid-30s to just barely pushing 40 degrees. You got 39 in Joplin, Independence to 36 degrees, 39 in Veneta. Bentonville, you're on the colder side down there, about 34, but still pretty cold as you're waking up and getting out the door. Make sure you put your jacket on because it feels like it's below freezing for most of our area. Upper 20s to just pushing just below freezing for feels like. So definitely jackets are needed. And you might be using a scraper on your car this morning as well because there could be some lingering frost. So through our morning, 39 degrees at 8 a.m., warming up to 52 degrees by 11 a.m. Clouds through the morning and winds are going to be picking up like I was saying. Your day getting up to 62 degrees. That's going to be about the 3 o'clock hour, but winds out of the south at 20 to 25 miles an hour, gusting to 45, maybe even 50 and above. So it's definitely going to be a very windy day, but the winds are going to be calming down tonight, dropping down to 40. We're going to see 57 degrees at 6 p.m., dropping down to 48 degrees at 10 p.m. But like I said, those winds are going to start dying down. So 62 degrees today, warming up to 62 or 67 degrees on Wednesday. 70s return possibly Thursday and Friday, and another front is going to be pushing in on Saturday and Sunday, possibly bringing those rain chances here again and cooling things down. With that, to check your full forecast, here's Sam with Health Watch.
Thanks, Donald. There's promising news for Americans living with heart disease or at risk for a severe cardiovascular event. Drug maker Merck says it's developed a new daily cholesterol pill that can, quote, dramatically lower LDL or bad cholesterol. It's an alternative to expensive monoclonal antibody injections that few Americans take. The study looked at nearly 3,000 adults. After 24 weeks, their LDL numbers dropped by almost 60%. Participants also took their daily statin. The two pills work differently to tackle high cholesterol. The data has not yet been published in a medical journal. Guns have become the #1 cause of death for teens and children in the U.S. A study published in JAMA found that before 2019, car crashes were the #1 killer of young people ages 1 to 19. But car crash deaths have been declining as gun deaths are rising. Researchers say vehicle safety and traffic laws likely caused car crash deaths to decline, and a similar approach could work for gun deaths. Expanding food stamp benefits during the COVID-19 pandemic was successful at reducing child hunger. A study published in the British Journal found when Congress increased SNAP benefits by 15% during the pandemic, the odds of child hunger decreased by 20%. The impact was even greater in Hispanic households and households with 6 or more people. Up to 10 million women in the U.S. suffer from menopause symptoms every year, and according to AARP, many receive little to no treatment. The FDA has announced it will no longer require a significant warning label with hormone therapies, hoping to encourage more women to seek treatment. Gwen Baumgarten explains.
The FDA says this so-called black box warning found on more than 20 hormone-based drugs to treat menopause symptoms is uncalled for.
The companies are, generally speaking, very excited when the FDA tells them you can remove a scary warning.
A study found hormone therapy can lead to an increased risk of stroke, blood clots, dementia, and breast cancer. But FDA Commissioner Marty McCary now says the research was misrepresented and the warning is unnecessary.
We are listening to doctors who have been waving the flag in the air saying, hey, we have this wrong. We are listening to women who have been challenging the paternalism of medicine.
Health officials point to studies that suggest hormone therapy has few risks when started before age 60 or within 10 years of menopause symptoms.
We're challenging outdated thinking and recommitting to evidence-based medicine that empowers rather than restricts.
Some medical experts are criticizing the FDA for not being transparent in this process and for not convening an independent panel to look at the issue.
For about 6 or 7 years, I felt like I was struggling.
Patient Colleen Fisher says she found little help from her doctor when looking for relief.
You feel like something's off and you're not quite sure what it is. For me, I had experienced really severe night sweats and gone to my OBGYN, and she sort of was like, suck it up a little bit.
The FDA says hormone therapy still carries significant risks for some women, so patients should talk to their doctor about their symptoms and treatment options. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Today, fewer than 1 in 20 women receive hormone replacement therapy for menopause symptoms. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, the 2025 Salvation Army kettle season kicks off in Jasper and Newton counties with a ceremony honoring bell ringers.
And cold conditions will bring forth some warmer conditions today, but it also is going to be pretty windy. Your forecast coming up.
Plus, a holiday favorite rolls back into our area. Coming up, details on the holiday train and how one car turns into a concert stage.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6:31. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Donald Lakeith. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Also, happy Veterans Day for all of those who celebrate. I think most people do. It's a great day to honor those who have served our country, both past and present. So, a very important day that we can all come together.
Most definitely. And today is going to be a pretty decent day to celebrate Veterans Day. It is going to be on the warmer and sunnier side, but it's going to be windy today.
You're going to see those flags waving in the air for sure, probably.
Oh yeah, they're definitely going to get some attention today. So actually, let's take a look at downtown Pittsburgh right now. We're seeing a beautiful sunrise. There is going to be some clouds that are going to start increasing through the morning, but also the temperatures are going to be increasing, but the winds are going to be increasing as well. Beautiful colors out there. 7th range line, not too bad right now. People are starting to get out, do their morning routines, get their morning coffee, because it is on the colder side this morning, so the coffee will definitely make you feel pretty good. The MoDOT camera at range line I-44 looking pretty good for those sunrise. The fog tracker looks good as well. If you're out starting to get out the door and on the road, it looks really good driving conditions. Even though it is on the colder side this morning, we're seeing temperatures across the area from the mid-30s to the upper 30s. 39 in Joplin, 39 in Veneta, Grove about 38 degrees. So still a little bit colder. You're still going to need that jacket as you're walking out the door today, because the feel-like temperatures are still not feeling like they are above freezing. Mostly mid-20s to upper 20s, just pushing maybe about 32 there in Veneta for feel like. So jackets are needed for the morning into the early parts of the afternoon. All right, taking a look at our future track. Today at noon, those clouds this morning are going to start dissipating, but you can see those winds are just coming out of the southwest very quickly. It's going to be a very windy day, but on the sunnier side. By about 4 o'clock, still some pretty strong winds, even though some clear sunny skies. And we're going to see those sunny skies turn to clear night by the nighttime, and the winds will eventually start to die down. So 37 degrees out the door for lunch and for out the door. Lunch and recess 58 degrees and 62 degrees as you're heading home with decreasing clouds, and the sun will start to come out. But the main story is the winds. High at 62 degrees, but the winds 20 to 25 miles an hour, gusting up to 45. But I'll have a look at your full forecast coming up.
Donald, thanks. JROTC students from Carl Junction paid their respects to fallen veterans yesterday. The cadets placed flags at the Mount Hope Cemetery in Webb City yesterday ahead of Veterans Day today. The students also placed flags along range line on the eastern edge of the cemetery. They also filled out their busy day with a trip to the Veterans Memorial Wall. This marks the third year of the JROTC program at Carl Junction. The 2025 Salvation Army kettle season kickoff. Yesterday morning, the Salvation Army of Jasper and Newton County started their kettle season by honoring bell ringers and recognizing some of those who gave their services last year. This is the most important fundraiser season for the Salvation Army.
To increase the amount of money going in, to increase the donations, the best way is, like Dr. Allen mentioned, take a little bit of Christmas music out there. Don't play it too loud, but a little Christmas music at the stand. If you have a Bluetooth speaker, that just gets people in the mood to donate.
Salvation Army tells KOAM there are plenty of spots left open for people to volunteer. The CPKC holiday train is rolling back into our area. Folks in southeast Kansas can expect the train to make a stop in Pittsburgh at 11 a.m. on Saturday, November 29th, then onto a stop in Joplin at 1 p.m. The holiday train combines an engine and train cars specifically decorated for the season. One of the center box cars converts into a stage for a live 30-minute holiday music performance. Smash Mouth and J.J. Wild will perform for the Joplin stop. The holiday train raises money, food, and awareness for holiday bank support. For food bank support. For more information, head over to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Millions of Americans are waiting for SNAP benefits to be released, and food banks across the Ozarks are seeing a big increase in new families using their services. Ozarks Food Harvest has purchased more than $500,000 in extra food for the increased demand caused by the shutdown. They've also released an extra $300,000 in grant money to their other agencies to make sure they can meet demand. Although they've helped feed hundreds, they say it's not an overnight fix. Pitt State STEM students will soon be able to take their studies to the next level. KOAM's Kenny Foreman was there for the groundbreaking of a new facility that's expected to leave an impact far beyond campus.
I'm standing right in front of the site of what's soon to be Pitt State's new Prove Out facility. The facility is expected to provide students with more opportunities for hands-on learning while promoting economic development throughout the community. Located right next to the Tyler Research Center, the possibilities for the new facility are endless.
It's designed to help businesses test new materials, refine production methods, and bring new products to market right here in Pittsburgh, Kansas. This sort of thing doesn't happen by accident. It happens through years of fruitful win-win relationships.
The projected 47,000 square foot project will allow students to pursue their curiosities in a way that'll be beneficial for everyone.
Our students will be part of the research and the innovative practice and in investigating new ideas and coming out with solutions again that could really support industry and professional partners in making an economic impact for the real-world problems that exist in our region.
The idea is to create a space where companies will want to collaborate with the students' ideas to help grow their businesses even further.
Businesses want to be close to facilities like this. They want to be close to students and the faculty like we have here at Pittsburgh State. So just really excited about what the future holds.
And the school is already excited for their experts to help the students get started.
We have some of the world-renowned scientists and they work in polymer chemistry. So ways of designing new materials that, for example, might be in the past not biodegradable, and our new materials could be more friendly to our environment and be biodegradable.
In Pittsburgh, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
The project has received $12 million, which includes state and federal funding. It's expected to be completed in 2026. Well, that's a look of our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Coming up, President Trump floats the idea of a 50-year mortgage to help Americans struggling to afford homes. Plus, Wendy's plans to close hundreds of U.S. locations over the next few months to boost profitability. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. In Consumer Watch, big changes could be on the way for Americans struggling to afford a home. In a social media post, President Trump floated the idea of a 50-year mortgage with an image of him next to one of the former presidents, President Franklin D. Roosevelt, whose administration led to the establishment of the 30-year mortgage standard. It comes as home ownership has become so expensive, the average age for a first-time buyer has climbed to 40 years old. Financial experts say the pros include lower monthly payments, but the cons are paying more for interest over time, which means it will take longer to build equity. Major League Baseball said it's authorized gaming operators to cap bets on individual pitches at $200 and exclude them from parlays. The move comes days after two Cleveland Guardian pitchers were indicted on accusations that they rigged pitches for gamblers. MLB says the limits were agreed to by sportsbook operators representing more than 98% of the U.S. betting market. And Wendy's says it plans to begin closing U.S. stores over the next few months to increase profitability and improve remaining restaurants. The move comes as budget-conscious consumers are cutting back on spending due to inflation. Wendy's currently has more than 6,000 locations in the U.S., according to its website. The closings could impact hundreds of them. Well, no more buttoned-up banking. Brick-and-mortar stores are thinking outside of the box to get customers through the front door. Christian Benavides follows the Sun and found something for man and his best friend.
For John Kay and his 3-year-old rescue pup Harley, a trip to the bank means a stop at the ATM, the automated treat machine.
It's good for the community, for everybody to get together with the dogs and hang out.
It's a dog treat dispenser made to look like ATMs that perform financial transactions for humans. Paul Ron is vice president and store manager at TD Bank in Coral Gables, Florida.
The dog would walk up and stand on the mat. He or she would stick their snout in the bowl.
They can be hard to navigate for some dogs, as we discovered. But the point is not just about the pets, rather about their people. Unplugging from the digital banking world to step into store branches.
For us, it's about creating innovative experiences for our customers. It also gives us an opportunity to have yet another point of interaction.
These treat dispensers will soon be available at more than a dozen locations nationwide, from here in Florida up to Maine.
At Capital One, it's what's in your wallet and in your cup.
Honestly, I'm here probably 3 times a week.
This cafe in New York City is one of more than 60 with the Capital One name across the U.S. Cardholders like Isabella Galati get a discount on the coffee, but the atmosphere is free.
It's so accessible, and I love all the windows and the drinks and people, so I really like it here.
We create, first of all, a very open and welcoming design, but we also enable people to sit side by side on a couch over a cup of coffee with one of our ambassadors to talk through money matters and financial needs in general.
Whether it's the human touch or the canine extras, banks are now looking to the brick and mortar to reconnect with customers. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Coral Gables, Florida.
Those Capital One cafes also have community rooms for nonprofit organizations to hold meetings free of charge. Well, that's it for Consumer Watch. Now here's Donald with a look at your forecast.
It's going to be a colder start to our Veterans Day. Clouds are going to be building in this morning, but we will eventually see some sunny skies this afternoon. However, it is going to be very windy today. We can see wind gusts about 45, maybe even 50 miles an hour, but don't let that deter you from enjoying the nice sunny day that is expected for our Veterans Day. Another Check Your Forecast coming up.
Well, it's the best time of the day. It's when we get to celebrate some birthdays and anniversaries. Starting off in McCune, Kansas, Colby Martin celebrating birthday number 8. Happy birthday, Colby.
Harley Castagno turns 9 today, and the note says, "Happy birthday, love you from Mom, Dad, Nana, and Ninny. Have a beautiful day."
And Elsie Dooley is celebrating birthday number 11 in Carl Junction. Happy birthday, Elsie.
Juliana Damon turns 12 today. Happy birthday, Juliana.
And Maya Chaplin is celebrating birthday number 12 in Fort Scott. Happy birthday, Maya.
In Neodesha, Kansas, Phoebe Swartz turns 20 today. Happy birthday.
And a happy birthday to Katie Thomas in Columbus, who's turning 27. The note says, "Happy birthday from everyone at the Davis Real Estate Office."
Jamie Ridenour turns 49 today, and the note says, "We all love you. Happy birthday."
And Tanya Thornton turns 61 today in Thayer, Kansas. Happy birthday, Tanya.
In La Russell, Missouri, Mark Johnson turns 62 today. Happy birthday, Mark.
And then Thayer, Kansas, Carol Pack turns 69 today. Happy birthday, Carol.
In Girard, Kansas, Chloe Harriman has a birthday today. Happy birthday to you. The note says, "Love from your family."
And Phyllis Mabe is celebrating in Columbus. It says, "Wishes for a special birthday to a special lady."
David, nicknamed Buster Red, turns 70 today. Happy birthday, Buster Red.
And in Frontenac, Kansas, Sarah Rake is celebrating today. Happy birthday, Sarah. Well, what a great list of birthdays that we got to have today. If you want to help celebrate with us on your special day, make sure to send those birthdays and anniversaries and photos that you want to include to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. But do make sure you pay attention to the deadline you can see on your screen to make sure that we get it in on plenty of time to celebrate with you on your special day.
And if you are celebrating your birthday and anniversary today, it's not going to be too bad of a day. Looking at downtown Pittsburgh, sun's coming up. There is going to be some increasing clouds, but the winds are going to be the biggest factor today. 7th range line, you can see some colors starting to pop up, but there's those clouds that are going to start pushing in this morning. Range line I-44 for my MoDOT camera. People are starting to get out the door, do their morning routines. The fog tracker looks really good. Look at this. Good driving conditions across the entire area, so that's a good thing. All right, let's talk about why it's actually going to be so along the warmer side and windy. We actually have a high pressure system way out there in Jackson, Mississippi that's bringing in those south winds that's going to be causing it to be warm today and also warm for the next few days, but it's also bringing in some winds because of the temperature change and the pressure change. So today at 9 a.m. we could see winds about 45 pushing 50 miles an hour, and that continues through the morning. By about noon we could see winds about 50 to maybe even 55 miles an hour. So it's definitely going to be pretty windy. Make sure you tie down anything you have outside. You do not want it down the street or in your neighbor's yard. But by the time we get to Wednesday morning, those winds will start to decrease and we'll start seeing a change in our temperatures as well. So today at noon, clouds are going to start dissipating, but there's those southwesterly winds bringing in those stronger winds. Clearer skies by the time we progress through the afternoon. The winds are still going to be there through the early afternoon or early evening into the overnight. But by the time we push into the overnight, those winds are going to start dying down, but it's still going to be pretty clear skies through the overnight into Wednesday morning about 5 a.m. We do notice a little bit of a wind shift. Instead of out of the southwest, we see some northwesterly winds starting to blend in there as well. But it's still going to be a pretty nice day for our Wednesday. We're going to see some pretty sunny skies on the warmer side compared to today, and then we're going to eventually see through Wednesday afternoon the winds shift pretty much from the southwest to the east now, and it's still, like I said, it's going to be a pretty nice Wednesday. But looking at today, right now, our temperatures are on the cooler side as you're getting out the door. Upper 30s across most of the area, 39 in Joplin, 34 in Stockton. You guys are on the cooler side as you're getting out the door, so make sure you're putting on a jacket because the feel-like temperatures are still below freezing at this moment. We're seeing upper 20s to lower 30s across the area, so still pretty cold and chilly at this moment. All right, taking a look at this morning, 39 degrees at 8 a.m., getting up to 52 by 11 a.m., but like I said, there's going to be some clouds and wind that's going to be associated with this morning. But we're going to get up to 62 degrees, and that's going to be about the 3 o'clock hour. But like I said, the winds are the biggest thing today. Out of the south at 20 to 25 miles an hour, gusting up to 45, and like I said, even possibly 50s as well. But it's still a nice sunny day, despite it being on the windier side. For tonight, we're going to drop down to 57 degrees at 6 p.m., getting to 48 at 10 p.m., and our overnight low at 40 degrees. But it is going to be on the clearer side, but the winds are going to start dying down by the time we get to the overnight. Taking a look at our 10-day, 62 today, 67 tomorrow, possibly seeing some 70s on Friday, and then another front's going to come in, possibly bringing in some showers by the end of the weekend. But coming up when the KOAM Morning News switches over to Fox 14, the familiar sound of ringing bells returns to storefronts across the area as the Salvation Army kicks off the holiday season.
This is your Wake Up Recap for November 11th, your top stories to start your day. A crash involving a semi in Wilson County, Kansas, claims the lives of 2 adults and a child. It happened west of Neodesha at the intersection of US 400 and Granby Avenue yesterday. The Highway Patrol says a westbound car failed to stop at a stop sign and was hit by a northbound semi-truck. 3 people in the car died in that crash. They are Adam and Kylie Brooks, both age 21, and 2-year-old Cohen Brooks, all from Neodesha. The semi-driver was not hurt. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
It's going to be a slightly warmer day today, even though it's going to be windy for our Tuesday, 62 for a high. However, winds are going to be gusting up to 45, maybe even 50 today, with possibly seeing 70s again by Thursday and Friday. But another front is coming through this weekend that could bring some rain and a cool down again, but not as cool or cold as it has been these previous few days.
I know, officially feeling that November weather, this is what it's supposed to feel like seasonally, hit like a ton of bricks because we were so, blessed earlier in the month.
Oh yeah, definitely started a little bit warmer, and then we definitely felt November, and and now we're getting into that warmer trend again, but November is going to show its face again later next week.
Yeah, well, thanks, Donald. Coming up today at noon, we're making homemade cracker candy in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Your morning news continues on the KOAM with CBS Mornings. Today is Veterans Day. Ahead on CBS Mornings, visit a sprawling Midwest ranch for an up-close look at how horses are helping veterans turn pain into strength.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, we have Blake and Megan Wooten in the studio to tell us about the upcoming 4 States Reptile Show, and I know they have some special guests, too.
Plus, Charleston Patton with the Kansas Soybean Commission has another one of her amazing recipes for us.
But that'll wrap it up for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.